Hello class, this is Jasmine. Today I'll be talking to you about how I think powerful interactions happen within the classroom. Enjoy! So the 5 critical points I'll be touching on is being in the present, listening, asking questions, scaffolding, and building relationships. Being in the present requires a teacher to slow down, stop what they're doing, and focus in on what is going on in their classroom. In this picture, the teacher is at child level, looking at the child and smiling. She is showing that she's enjoying her time being with the children and that she is paying attention to them. Being in the present involves us listening to children. It requires us to actively tune in to what the child is saying and trying to communicate. It's allowing the child time to express him or herself. When listening to children, also pay attention to body language. Is the child responding and continuing to communicate with you? Is their body language showing that they felt heard? Take a look at the picture on the left. The teacher is showing that she is listening by looking at the child and not the materials on the table. She has her hand on the child's back, showing that she's there and in the present with only that child. The child's body language is showing that she's accepting of the teacher. She too is looking at the teacher, smiling, and is comfortable with the teacher having her hand on her back. Now look at the baby on the right. He has no clue what's going on. He's in his own world. His blank gaze shows that he does not understand you and you do not understand him. So remember, to actively listen, we must tune into body language as well. We want to listen to children so they can communicate with us, but we also want to extend children's learning to deepen their understanding about those things they are interested in. So how is this done? We need to be in the present, tune in and listen to what children are saying, but we also need to ask questions. What are children in our care curious about? To intentionally ask questions, we must pause and pay attention to what the child is doing, being in the present. Think about the types of questions you can ask the child to extend their learning. Then ask the question. So what this looks like is thinking to yourself, I wonder what Johnny is looking at. Is he looking at the butterfly or the flower? He has a magnifying glass in his hand and he's looking through it. I would then ask Johnny, hey Johnny, I noticed you're holding the magnifying glass and looking through it. What are you looking at? This required me to pause and to think about what he was doing and then to ask the question to find out what he's doing and then to extend his learning. This now brings me to scaffolding. Scaffolding is providing hints to helping a child answer a question. In order to ask good intentional questions, we must be able to know if the child understands what it is you are asking. We must scaffold children's learning by allowing children time to answer questions before interrupting or providing any type of response, hints, or clues. In this picture, a child has wrote some letters on her paper. The teacher is pointing to a letter that looks like an S. What scaffolding would look like in this picture is saying, hey Erica, I noticed you wrote some letters on your paper, while pointing to the S-like letter. I would then say, what letter is this? I would pause and wait for the child to respond. If the child does not know or says another letter, I would then provide a hint such as, it makes a S sound. What letter makes the S sound? To tie everything together, in order for children to feel comfortable with us, being in their space, talking to them, asking questions, we must first build and establish a positive relationship with them. Our actions and words send positive or negative messages to children. It's important to slow down and be in the present with children, connecting with them daily by taking the time to listen to what it is they are trying to communicate. With positive relationships, children will be more open and accepting of any questions you may want to ask or feedback you may want to give. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you enjoyed.